when I talk of leadership, it actually reminds me of the Chetwood motto, which says, "First, the safety, honor, and welfare of your country comes first, always and every time. Second, the honor, welfare, and comfort of the men you command comes next. Third, your own ease, comfort, and safety comes last and every time." If you think of leadership, really, I think it's something that one is able to develop one's skills on. But it's not just the information of learning that skill that's going to help you, right? It's the doing of, the practicing of the skills. If you look at a doctor and an engineer, that's exactly what happens. It's not just being aware of the concepts that helps you. It's being able to put them to practice that really develops your capabilities as a doctor or an engineer. And that's why I feel that leadership cannot be taught, right? But it can definitely be learned. And learning leadership skills is akin to learning any other skills. It's not difficult, but it's a continuous journey. Leadership is something which comes over time, and one has to really put a conscious effort to think through how is it that one wants to develop one's own abilities. It's important to start from yourself as an individual, because it's very important to know who you are. It's very important to know where you are based, from which you want to move ahead and develop your leadership capabilities. It's important to understand oneself. It's very important to be able to understand the others. It's very important to be able to focus on how is it that you want to take initiative and focus on bringing excellence into what is it that you do as an individual. Moving from there, I think it's also very important to get an understanding of how you build leadership mastery around building your own immediate scope of the organization, or whatever unit you're going to be a leader for. What is meant by a leader, right? What are the typical qualities or traits which are expected of a leader? What are the different kinds of leadership styles which exist out there? How does one vary one's leadership styles depending on the people you're leading, depending on the people you're dealing with? And how do you make sure that you're able to be a leader who has the ability to transform the organization from one state to another? Moving beyond your immediate scope in terms of the people or the organization, there's an environment we operate in, right? There's a different number of stakeholders we work with, and it's very important to be able to extend one's influence across the organization beyond one's immediate scope of influence, right? So it's important to have a good understanding of how is it that you, again, in that paradigm, understand yourself relative to the others, right? How do you understand the others better? How do you understand what are those stakeholders? How do they operate? And how can you manage your own style, get the best of an output in a win-win situation from your stakeholders as well? So leadership essentially becomes an ongoing journey, right? And that's what we try to build into our workshops. We use a variety of proven adult learning techniques and methodologies to make sure that people are able to understand to the maximum possible extent, not just from being able to listen to concepts and understand concepts, but be able to internalize them, assimilate them, and be able to practice them when they go back to their workplace, right? There are many practical sessions that we do where participants actually have the opportunity to practice and experience the concepts that they're learning right there and then, so that they don't step out of the learning environment and forget about what is it that they've learned. It's made up of exercises which are practical, which are fun. There are online simulations, more like the gamification aspect. There are individual and small work group activities, and a lot of action learning. I think leadership, in that sense, is an ongoing, continuous journey. It doesn't stop, and it doesn't start in a session. It doesn't stop after a session. It's something that you, as a leader, and then take it on an ongoing mode at your workplace and in your personal life.